Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about you said. You said, I said, who said? I'm kidding. Listen, but we are talking about it. You guys want to know why there's so many people freaking out over this? I'm going to tell you. Um, it's crazy, but it's so true. It really truly is. So stick around, okay? Because there's a lot of information coming your way right now.
It was USAID that I fear much more than the CIA, because the USAID is how CIA gets shit done.
USAID is clearly in the job of trying to bring about regime change. It has secret bank accounts, shell companies.
USAID gets $50 billion a year in US taxpayer money. That's a larger overt fund than the CIA has.
USAID perhaps is the new CIA.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably.
This is not just about over there. This is about here.
They have a process, a system by which they destroy other nations. And they use that same process and system in order to destroy the United States.
It's a plot against our own people.
I disagree with that as somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat. Yeah. Not here, but, other places.
These are places that are practically entirely run at this point by the CIA and the U.S. State Department, which is, of course, a CIA front.
USAID provides most of the money.
This isn't a giveaway.
The State Department provides the policy vision.
This makes a difference to people's perception of us. Tricky endeavors, whether it's fighting terrorism,
Al-Shabaab groups in USAID camps,
or narcotics,
Joe Biden's State Department is commanding the Taliban to keep the opium flowing.
or oppression, or resistance to governance.
Those USAID trucks were stopped at the border to Venezuela with fully automatic weapons.
All of those things.
I don't think that's humanitarian aid.
What a difference that makes.
And if we stand for democracy anywhere, we have to stand for it everywhere, including in Guatemala.
Correlation, not causation.
That is absurd.
They didn't deny it, which means that they admitted it.
This is no question, a political shocker in Guatemala.
The U.S. government, the Biden administration, helped cover up voter fraud.
Why Guatemala? Why not some other country?
Guatemala is concerned about child trafficking, the NGOs that are trafficking the children.
Jill Biden was the chairman of the board of Save the Children.
You guys just raided Save the Children.
Guess who stepped in? The State Department, U.S. Embassy, and USAID. Another coincidence?
America. As to whom we know where they are, that is outside the responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security.
This is nothing but lies. Nothing but lies.
Secretary Mayorkas, he acts like none of this ever happens.
It's his policies that caused over 500,000 children being smuggled in this country.
And he also knew who to blame.
HHS places those children.
That's on you.
Was that a question to me?
Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club as an address?
You shrug your shoulders and then send another batch of kids out to sponsor.
Human trafficking bust at an egg farm. Federal prosecutors call it modern-day slavery.
Of course, we investigate cases of trafficking.
Now that you've watched that, the level of panic over 47 and Elon shutting down USAID is unlike anything ever seen before. By following the money, Doge, or DOGE, has struck a blow to the heart of the deep state machine. This is worse than September 2001 for Democrats. Okay? USAID is the primary vessel that they use to achieve their political agenda. And USAID is and always has been the primary source of funding for their influence peddling schemes and for their indirect sources of income. Now, based on the reactions from within the party, it seems that dismantling USAID is 47's biggest political victory to date. It was his enemy's golden goose. And initial plans by the Democrats is to have their people at USAID hide the partisan funding under unimpeachable initiatives. They will push back really, really hard on certain line items on their face that, let me reword that. It's like, okay, the USAID expenditures, okay, they have to hide their political spending under these programs. It's a must. They have to. Because the line items that are on their face look like reasonable expenditures. So they have to hide their political spending under these programs. I hope that makes more sense. Another likely solution for them, which they already use to reward VIPs, is to use NGOs as an intermediary to direct funds where they want them to go. So basically, USAID allocates funds for a certain initiative that looks reasonable. And the Democratic-friendly NGO is contracted to carry out whatever initiative needs to be carried out. So you'll have NGO number one, which is subcontracts. VIP, which is another NGO owned, operated by a political ally or Democratic politician. Eventually, the funds reach the secret intended target, and the original problem is then not solved. So then this means that they can continue to rinse and repeat this grift. If 47 and Elon want this to stick, they need to completely shut down USAID or fire the entire staff, because the party has instructed their allies to not make waves and to blend in, or as those of us that are in the prepper community say, gray man. USAID is 99% Democrats, and they will not be able to save it without risking internal sabotage. And just to show you how bad they want to save USAID, Bill Gates, or as I like to call him, Billy Boy, came out and issued an alarming warning, saying that defunding USAID will bring about another mysterious illness across the world, and millions will die. Yeah. Take a listen.
Mr. Gates, you also called Elon Musk's political influence abroad, quote, insane, along with another word we can't repeat here. But what's your take on his political access and influence here in America right now?
Well, Elon, his private sector work, has been very innovative, really fantastic. A lot of private sector people, when they get into government, they don't take the time necessarily to see what the good work is or why it's structured the way it is. So I'm a little worried, particularly with this USAID stuff. My foundation partners with USAID on nutrition and getting vaccines out. And, there's incredible people. They're not actually worms that work there. So, hopefully we'll get some of that work back in shape. In fact, if we don't, you could have literally millions of deaths. So, you know, with aid, people think, you know, wow, how much do we give these countries? As you said, it's less than 1%. People think it's 5%, and it should be 2%, but it's actually under 1%.
Wow, and still saving lives. Well,
so what do you think about that? So they'll use that just like they did Mr. 19 to try and force 47's hand. It's a given. It's a sick given, but it's a given. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.